Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast where we try to figure it all out. Your hosts, Brandon and Collin. On this week's show, where have all the TV magicians gone? Ahoy!
Ahoy!
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I am well. I am. We've been driving a lot.
Yes, that it is the season for driving everywhere, especially when your job is helping take care of people's things who are not at their house. So
well, and actually, it's not even from that. Of course, over Thanksgiving, it was quite intense, and then over into the next week, which I guess would have just been over the next week.
Yeah, that was this last week. Yeah, I had to think about that too. I was like, "Where? What's happening?"
Earlier this week.
Yeah,
5 days ago, 6 days ago, it was a little bit of that, but I haven't been doing a whole lot since then. No, it is also the time of year where there are a million things to do. And we have been trying to do all of them. So from where we live, we had to drive an hour and a half into Kansas City to go see. I'm just going to put this out there.
Had to, or
I'm sorry. There were 400 tubas and euphonium in the room. We had to see this. This was glorious. I have never been to such a thing. But this was, and I don't even know where Megan found this, but
I'm surprised that Megan is the one that found this. Let's be honest here. This is the most shocking revelation you've laid out so far, is that Megan is somehow responsible for this occurring. That is almost unbelievable, really. I think.
Yes. So I'm sure somewhere I was in the background going, "Oh, tuba."
Perhaps.
But she did find this. And so we drove to the Kaufman Center in Kansas City to go to their hall. And first off, I had never been there. And I also didn't know there were two separate performing halls at the Kaufman Center.
That could be
so
an important bit of information here.
We pull up and it's like, of course, it's Kansas City. So there are school buses for blocks around corners. The parking is insane. And we're like, oh my goodness. Like, I didn't know the tuba concert was this intense. And we're just kind of meandering around. We go up, we follow a bunch of people into a hall, and we say, "Oh, we're here for general seating." And the lady said, "Well, what school are you with?" And we said, "Oh, we're not with a school." And then we paused and we went, "Wait, what's this performance for?" And she was like, "Oh, well, this is the such and such." I didn't pay attention. I was like, "Oh no, we're here for the tuba thing." And she goes, "Oh, that's in the other hall across the way." Did they have signs anywhere for any of this? No,
of course not. Well, they're probably named like a name. Like, it's like, is it like a dude's name? That's usually what these are. They're like the Jim Bowie Concert Hall. And you're like, what? I don't know where that is. That is not helpful. Can you give me like East Concert Hall? That would be great. That would be very helpful.
Or at least have some signs of, tubas this way.
Yeah, tubas this
not
way
tubas,
for low brass.
The
That's
other way. Yeah. So it's a beautiful, beautiful performance hall. It's they have two different ones. One is specifically for musical performances, and then the other one is where is more theater, where they have the curtain and everything.
Okay.
And so this was a true performance hall with it's all wood, with how everything is and it was so cool to be in here. And the way they have the seating, you can sit where we sat, which was basically looking on top of the performers' heads. You could come all the way alongside the stage and look at them. And that was the best angle to go and view this. And I do have to mention a couple things about this. In 2018, they set the record for the most tubas playing at the same time.
Well, I mean,
with 820 something playing.
Yes.
Yes, not here. They played that at like an arena downtown.
Well, still.
Yes. And this is by their calculations, and they are the experts, so I'm not going to push back against them. They said that this is the largest gathering of tubas on an annual basis.
I mean, yeah.
And
just think how many feet of brass this is.
I know.
Right? Like, this is like...
I know. It's like, I was looking at, what a C tuba is, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is
thousands of feet.
Of brass. Whoa. And the whole thing is they just get together. They get together that morning. And so the tuba players have to pay $10 to attend. Yeah. And then they show up that morning. They practice exactly one time, and then they show back up to go through everything again for the actual performance. And now these aren't hard things. They're like,
still
getting 400 people on the same page.
Yeah.
Right?
That's tricksy.
And it was pretty cool to see all the different varieties of tuba.
That was my next question. Was there, so this was just like random people showing up? This wasn't like so that's my question. That's my big question that I have here is the compositional nature of what kinds of tubas were there. Listeners, this is about to get very nerdy. So nerding out alert over brass instruments impending. But just in case you were unaware, there are several different kinds of tuba, right? They're tuned in different keys. Yeah. So yes. I had to double check here because I forgot one of them. But yeah, normal tubas, you have F, E flat, C, and B flat, obviously. Yes. But then you have like the contrabass tubas.
Yes.
That are like the big, which like the double C, double B flat tuba, right? Or there's even like a bass tuba, which is like really big. But like, yeah, so I wanted to know like what was it, like a mix of all different kinds of them? Could you tell? Did they say like?
So
I don't know.
I will say that as a production note for future audiences, and look, this is this was great. This was fantastic. Let's just get straight to the point real quick here. Opening number, I was crying because you can't. It was so beautiful. It was so like mind-blowingly impactful to be like.
Was it the fact that you were getting hit in the face with like 29 hertz of note? It was like mega low, just like
mega low, and just how, because what happened was it went from like, of course, like dead silent, right?
Yeah.
Raise the baton, boom, first note. I wanted to like just jump up, like I was just like, oh my yes. Like this is literally everything I wanted. But they had it was mostly so down on the
here, so that's good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it was, oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. So they mostly down in, it was, the arrangement of this was a little different, but they had the KU tuba group was they sat immediately around the conductor. So they were kind of the leaders of everything.
Yeah.
And there were 14 members of that. Then literally everybody else was just strangers who wanted to show up to do this.
Yeah.
And like one guy drove from over 2.5 hours away to be a part of this. There were obviously people who were like part of local bands or whatever. Or there was a guy. So they did a who's the youngest performer and who's the oldest performer. Yeah. Okay. Youngest performers there, 10 years old.
Nice.
Oldest performer there. He had been playing the tuba for 80 years and he was 92.
Nice. There we go.
And he was there with his son. So you could tell they were sitting next to each other playing. So some family members and stuff. But kind of immediately around the conductor were mostly, I'm going to say like C's and B's, from what I could tell.
Yeah.
Then they had some euphonium there as
Okay.
well. Um, and then I think they had a couple baritone. Most of the what was immediately in front of the conductor going all the way back to the wall were all the C's, B's, E's, F's. Like those there were no
Yeah.
contras or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
double
Yeah.
then against the wall is when they
Yeah. But
had
the F is a big. It's an
yeah,
interesting one, right?
yes. Then against the wall they had sousaphones, and
yeah. Nice.
I love me a sousaphone. Like, not gonna lie here, people, I love a sousaphone. um, then up in the like loft area and coming around the sides, that's where the rest of the euphonium and baritones were.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so those were up higher, and the bass, all like the bass was right there. And then coming up higher above and wrapping around were the baritones and euphoniums. And it was neat just to see all the different varieties of those too. You know, some were the traditional, you know, in your lap bass. Some were more of a horn. Like there were saw a few of those, which I thought was very interesting for more of the marching styles. But yeah, so I was kind of hoping that I was going to see
Any
a big one there.
yeah. Any
But no,
Wagner tubas or Wagner? Any
no,
Wagner
no, no,
tubas?
no
Ah,
Wagner's.
those are pretty rare. You don't see a lot of those. Those are cool though.
No. If I would have seen one of those, I would not have come home. So, I mean, but that was so that was the general arrangement. But I would say that it's hard. There were so many baritones and euphoniums. There are probably more of those than the actual C's and B's and F's. But
Yeah. I mean, the number of people that just would own a tuba, I can't imagine is an exceedingly high number. I mean, apparently it's, large. They have a very large number to break a record, but like, yeah, I would imagine all these people have to come around because like owning a tuba is a commitment to a lot, right? Like,
no,
tubas are not cheap, right? This is a very.
They even made a joke about it because we played they played the sleigh ride, you know, and he was like, "We came all the way from Kansas. We had no room. Things were strapped to the roof. They were held in our laps, praying we didn't hit a heavy, you know, a big bump. We didn't have any room for the other quintessential, most important instrument as part of this piece, the whip. So,
yes.
when I point to you, I need you to clap."
Done.
There's plenty of humor there. They started off by saying a very Merry Christmas, Tuba, you.
Good.
And then they had they towards the end they said, what's better than one ba? Tuba.
Oh no.
it made me, or he said, how do you, what are we gonna, and don't worry, if something's broken, we have a tuba glue in the back.
Oh no.
Oh, it's glorious. It made me so happy.
Oh no.
It's like, you know what? This band humor, it cuts cross cultures, people, right? So but we listened to it for it was an hour long. The big ensemble had 12 songs, but in the middle of there they had the KU group play, and that's where you really got to see like oh, you don't usually hear tubas doing that kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Like
yeah.
they played the da 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 da
The Carol of the Bells thing.
but the TSO version or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they played that, and you don't hear tubas going like you don't.
That's true. Not often, no.
Not often you don't hear like big stick. It's mostly like bum bum, you know, whatever. So that was pretty cool, and to hear everything put together that way was very beautiful. And then the way they had it structured was for each of the other more normal Christmas songs, they'd play through it once. And then the songs, the lyrics would show on a screen. You could sing along. So that was kind of fun too.
Nice.
But
cool.
Yep. It's in the running for one of the best renditions of Silent Night is when 400 tubas are playing it.
Okay. Oh yeah, lots of close seconds. I imagine in there. Wait a minute.
It was very good. Of course, there were times where because there's just so many. It's kind of going. I am searching for the thing right now because I can't. Oh, there it is. Found the through line. Found where we're headed with
that's why you need some of I imagine that's why you need some of the euphoniums and stuff, right? To have the higher line to give it more like depth in the sound. Because not saying that tubas don't have a broad range, but
whoa,
help
here.
They do, right? They have a surprisingly broad range. I think you might be surprised about how high a tuba can play, but like it's not like, again, it's not like screaming high or anything, but you need to add some more like sonic layers in there to make it a little bit more listenable, I would imagine. Right, some diversity in the range to sort of open it up a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. That's where it's like, okay, if this was just like a tuba, that would be kind of it'd be interesting to hear what they would do with that. But the euphoniums, the baritones was good. And so it was neat to see. And they had 3 different conductors, like he's the professor of tuba at KU.
Of course. I mean, how could that guy not be there? Like
he was there, and this was his last one because he was retiring. And it was like, oh, that's really sad. But then they had the new professor of tuba.
Like, never mind.
So we're fine.
Everything's fine.
And then they had the tuba player for the Kansas City Symphony was also there.
Nice.
And they weren't just conducting; they would take turns conducting and then playing in the group. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, so you could, not that you could hear them over everybody else.
But it would be but no, it's good that they were also playing as a part of it. I think that's just neat, right? Because like that doesn't happen in like choir things. Because when you go to like choral ensemble things like that, the director or conductor will come out and then they'll conduct and then they just like leave. They just like bounce out the door. It's like, see you later. They don't like hop up on stage and like also sing, right? They just like bye and they run away. So I think that's cool that they did that.
Yes. Yeah, and you can imagine for all of the students and younger kids there, or even some of the others, like that's kind of a big deal to have those people there of like, oh yeah, you're doing like a job that I would like, or like I aspire to do what you're doing kind of thing. And to be around them and to listen to them and be in that group, like that'd be pretty fun to be a part of.
Yeah, I think so. That's neat.
And then of course the kids were asking if there were any other large gathering of instruments like this. And I was like, gotta be honest.
I mean, probably like,
but I don't know how. If like, I don't want to be in the room with 400 oboes. If we're being very real,
but like, what about cellos though?
Cellos, I could do cellos. Stringed instruments would be fine.
No, but like piccolos and flutes, probably.
Yeah, piccolo. Nope. Hard outs. Nope. Timpani players, I guess, would be kind of interesting.
I mean, I do like a flute.
Right? Yes, but like, yeah, which is so we went to that. Highly recommend. I think we're going to try and go again next year. Just get that. So it was fun.
And then are you going to get a tuba before next year?
We did.
I'm just kidding.
So the one of the coolest parts about this was this is kind of a nerdy thing to go to.
You don't say. I say this as a band nerd. Okay, I'm like not slagging off. I'm just agreeing that yes.
I was sitting there and I was just like, who comes to these things? But people's, their parents and grandparents there to watch them play, and people's, some teachers are there to see their kids perform, or just people like us showing up, being like, you know what? Yeah, that's what I need in my life.
I do love a tuba, right?
Well, we're sitting there and this behind us, we hear a guy go, hey, he goes, what do you think, Ryan? And this kid must have been like 3 or 4. He just belts out, Tuba!
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
He was so excited for Tuba.
Maybe I could just like sneak the school tuba out, right? And like, we're gonna go play. Like, yeah, and just totally like, yeah, of course I know how to play this.
Yes. So
here's my $10.
I'm encouraging everybody to do a tuba Christmas. You don't need that many tubas. You don't need 400. But to put on,
you need a tuba, right?
You need one.
And now, getting a tuba, is in and of itself quite difficult, right? Like, where you can't just like walk around in every store and just buy a tuba, know?
Because they're like $9,000, like 10 grand.
I mean, yes,
for like
this is
tuba.
the big problem. I mean, you could probably get like student models for less than that.
For 3.
Oh, look here. Tubas for sale. Here we go.
There you go.
This one. This is a double B flat travel tuba. $2,300.
Oh,
Steal.
It's right there.
This is like the junior tuba. This is like a school band tuba. This is like $1,500. Right. There you go. Now, orchestra guy's tuba. Yeah. That's probably like $12,000.
Yeah. I'm looking at a few right now. Yeah.
Double B flat rotary valve. 5 valve rotary tuba.
Oh no.
10 grand.
10 grand.
I do like rotary valves though. Those are pretty sweet.
I'm on the tubaexchange.com.
Of course you are. I was looking at
just gonna include this link here.
I don't know, this is Yamaha website, but this is I was looking at Wessex tubas.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
West Music. What do they got for me? Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, this is just telling me about the history of the tuba. I already looked at that. What are you doing? Oh, no, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oof. Oy, oy, oy. They only have the big boys here on this particular website.
Yeah, there's some things on sale, and it's not really saley to me.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, but wait. What if a person was to go on used music instrument websites, such as this one that I often buy things from? They bought a tuba, but where'd you go? This is going to really screw up my search history. Oh, this one, $500.
There you go.
There you go. Boom. Got him. Right. Is it going to be amazing? No. Will it play and do tuba things? Yes. So you're good to go. No worries.
I mean, I was mostly impressed with the people who showed up with a like straight up sousaphone. Like, who? Just like that piece. Like, that's a different piece of just like.
Well, some of them may have been like students, right? And so they have
these were not students. These were now these could have been like, I guess, like band directors who were like, you know what I'm doing? I'm grabbing a school's
yes, right. I'll just get this out of the closet and take it down there, and boom,
I gotta go.
Yeah, that is a thing that could happen, right? That's plausible. So, yeah, not bad.
Yeah. So we all agreed that this was an amazing thing that needed to be done again. And then we drove home. And then today we came to Springfield so that we could see the Springfield Symphony Orchestra, like full orchestra, play a holiday.
Not just tubas. Like
no, not just tubas. Not just tubas. As a matter of fact, got to be honest, when you see just one tuba on stage after seeing 400,
a little upsetting, right?
A little underwhelming.
I say before you jump to that though, I do want to say I think one of the reasons the 400 tubas, other than the fact that there's 400 tubas, the reason it sounded so good in there is because if you notice, that back wall of that building. That looks like a pipe organ to me, which means that whole room is an instrument. So
that's so
automatically going to sound good. That's what I was going to.
We sat down.
It's going to tie in an old episode there.
Yes.
No, listeners, welcome.
We sat down and I was looking. I was just talking and turning. I turned and I saw the back wall, and I turned towards the kids and I went, "This whole place is an instrument." And they were like, "What are you talking about, Collin?" And I was like, they don't call me Collin. They were like,
they obviously do. They're like,
excuse me. Anyway. They were like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?" And I was like, "See those things over there?"
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, it is.
This entire place was built around that to make that sound good. And yeah, like and then of course the tubas were great, but after seeing that in the back wall, I literally wanted nothing else, nothing more than to hear that play. That's all I wanted.
Oh yeah, no, how could you not, right? Like, how could you not want to hear just literally any chord? Preferably the opening notes to Phantom of the Opera, but there are other organ pieces available. That's the one you want the most, obviously, but
yes. So obviously we're not getting that, but I will say they're doing the Handel's Messiah there tomorrow. So and they will have that little puppy
cooking, and maybe
pumping out there. So yeah, I wanted nothing more than to hear that and to hear that thing. But I didn't get
anyway,
that.
Sorry, distracted you. Then onwards to Springfield Symphony.
Onwards to Springfield to see Springfield Symphony, and like I said, it's great, wonderful. Only one tuba, so they put that in the review. But they had more of just a.
We'll give more stars for more tubas.
More stars for more tubas. Boo. To boo you. Anyway, no, it's bad.
Wow.
Can't. I'm so sorry. Yeah, they're Hellsberg Hall.
No, anyway, you're not.
So we were at the Juanita K to go see the symphony, and I was trying to remember a few of the things that we saw. Do you remember seeing Stomp there? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. A very long time ago.
Oh my gosh. And then
like a very long time ago.
And we also saw David Copperfield perform. Is that
also true? Yes.
Also true. The only thing I remember.
That means I've seen David Copperfield twice. Why?
Twice.
That's
twice.
Weird.
You've had David Copperfield twice in your life. And I don't know. That's a weird thing to really think
More
about.
Than twice, because we used to watch all those TV special movies, all those TV special things.
He made elephants disappear. He made buildings disappear.
Where are the television magicians? Where did they go? What happened?
Did the internet people learned that it really wasn't that impressive once they realized that editing could be a thing?
Two things could have happened. Number one, the internet happened, and they're all in there. Or Chris Angel ruined it for everybody. They were like, "This guy's lame, bro. We don't want this anymore."
Yeah,
that might be what happened.
I know. I'm just going to think that we're just going to stay positive, and we're just going to say they're all in the internet. The internet has them all, and that I'm just going to move away from Chris Angel because I just can't with me.
Anyway, yes, we saw Stomp. We saw David Copperfield. We saw just a bunch of random things, right? Like musical performance things, right? Like your boy Doc Watson that played guitar for like 7,000 hours. We're like, okay, we're going home now. This is.
I do remember him.
This is so long. We left early because it was so late. It was like, what? How? Okay, this is cool, but like also, good grief, like it's not like upbeat enough to be like interesting for that long.
I think I saw a Amy Lou Harris concert there.
That sounds like something that would have happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only thing I remember from the David Copperfield, back to that, because it is bizarre, because we saw him there and then down in Branson, he made a car disappear. I remember that. But in Springfield.
Oh yeah.
The only part of that thing that I remember is he had like a haunted house thing.
Yeah, the spooky ghost thing.
Yeah, the spooky, and that like
I don't
fell
remember
apart,
what the point of that was.
and they like went all over. Like I remember them going up over our head.
There was like weird spooky ghosts everywhere,
and I don't know. I'll be up. That's where my memory both starts and stops. Is the spooky ghost thing, and then beyond that, I don't know.
Yeah, weird spooky ghost things. Why were there spooky ghost things? I don't know. I don't remember the context of the spooky ghost.
I don't.
But they were there. They sure were. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw what's the Helen Keller play? We saw that there too.
Oh, really?
The Miracle Worker? Is that what it's called? We saw that there. Right? We saw that. Yeah. And of course, my favorite musical of all time, The Fiddler on the Roof. Blam, that was there.
Oh my gosh. It was.
And I performed on that stage for the band concert band theme thing. They had that there a couple times. Yeah. Like a couple of years when we had to, like, you go and you play and they give you the ratings or whatever. They did it there a couple of times, at least once, maybe twice when I was in high school.
Huh.
Yeah. So I played on the stage. Boom. At least one time. Maybe twice, but at least once for sure.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yes. Don't know what else. We saw a bunch of things there. Those are the only things that come to mind.
I remember we also saw Big Smith there. I think we saw Big Smith play.
They opened for Doc Watson.
Oh, that's why.
They did. That's why they were there. Otherwise, why would Big Smith be at 180K? That doesn't make any sense.
I know. I was thinking about that while I was sitting there going, now, wait a minute. What? Why were they here? Yeah. And the best part about that was he had the piccolo trumpet. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was I think that was like, because I remember Mr. Shannon had one.
Yes.
And then I'd never seen one before again. And of course, their bass player, who was like 19 feet tall and the largest man alive, comes out playing the piccolo trumpet. And you're like, oh, huh. Well, there you go. There's the thing.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And it was great to see that like literally nothing has changed. So
yeah, I was gonna say I haven't been back there since they opened yes, I haven't been there in a long time. What's that other thing that they opened? The event center thing. What is that called? That's not. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what it is though.
But I've been there too.
It's not
some stuff. It's like nearby, but like.
Yeah.
It's like more an event thingy. They have like bigger stuff in there. Like concerts and like I went to some really dumb, like when I was a reading coach a long time ago, we went to like, it was like one of those big long days of like just a bunch of like motivational people, like professional people that like tell you positive things. It was really boring and I hated every second of it. I was like, wow, these people are just like taking your money. What the heck?
Yeah.
And of course I did see wrestling in there one time. That was a good time too. Blam, right?
Yeah.
You go.
Gotta be.
But yeah. I'm just trying to think of other things we saw in 180K because we were there a lot. Not a lot, but like often. Like
yes. For like like there was Fiddler on the Roof. There were there were performances like that I remember going to.
There was a couple like Christmas-y things that we went to.
Yeah. And I remember seeing the Springfield Symphony play a couple times. For I think more of a holiday-ish kind of events.
Yeah.
So it was good to be back there, and so the kids and I ran the stairs up and down a couple times.
There you go. Good job.
Next to the bead thing coming down. And they came in, and of course, this is like supposed to be like a kids matinee event, fun thing. And they like, oh, do you want your picture with Rudolph? And it's a guy in a Rudolph suit. And like, Noah immediately takes a step back and goes, no. And Lillian says, sure. And so the handler for Rudolph goes, are you ready to stand up?
Wow.
And the person obviously cannot see out of this mask. and has no idea what is going on in the world. She has to like stand up, have him face the right way to look at the camera, and then of course I'm a smart aleck, so I go, Rudolph, activate.
Wow.
And they position the Rudolph and they face and we take a picture and she's like, oh, do you want a whole family one? And we're like, we're good. He's
No,
out.
thanks.
We got no thanks. I'm no thanks. And she goes, okay. And then she goes, okay, 2 steps back. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now come back.
Oh dear.
And I couldn't even. So that person, bless their soul.
What a horrid job that must be. Wow.
They were not getting paid enough money to be.
No, not even a little bit.
Is all I can say. But it was nice. They had the a bell choir, the handbells playing while we were waiting to go in. And then it was man, do love me a symphony. Love me a symphony. And we talked about the differences between that. Tuba's
like
not a whole lot of
more
dynamic.
than just low brass,
Yep. When there's more than just
more.
A lot.
I mean, there's high brass, the obvious most part.
Obvious.
I mean, not in the symphony.
No,
not in the symphony. They're kind of also there. The symphony, I think of more. It's like a string feature usually.
Oh yes.
There is like horn parts, right? Like there's very famous like horn songs, but like when I think symphony, I think about like the string section. So I think like they're like they're it for the symphony, and then the other thing is there to like make it better. Whereas like marching band is like brass, and then other stuff is there, but brass though.
Yes, but what if we had more brass?
Yes, yes, exactly.
So we talked about that of how the different sound and how when you have 400 tubas in a concert hall, there's not a whole lot of dynamic range that's possible. And so when the symphony is playing, it's like, oh, this is actually very soft. Like this is quiet. Oh, wow. I can hear myself think. I don't.
Oh no! Turn it up.
Yeah. I don't feel my blood pumping in my earlobes when this is playing. This is weird. Okay.
But it's just flutes and violins. Like what the heck? Wait, come on.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, oh, and of course, the kids were like, why? Like they've seen the couple like a symphony play a couple times before, but we were just having a conversation, and now some of the questions are like, well, why are there only 2 clarinets? Or like, why is there only one of these? Well, because it's about the entire ensemble, and it's mostly strings. Like it's the strings plus some woodwinds and brass are also there for fun. Like, and it also depends on what kind of songs they're playing and what they're geared towards. So,
because sometimes you need the oboe, sometimes you don't.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. And these were definitely more like they pulled something that the Springfield Symphony does a lot. And I know a lot of symphonies, this has become a bread and butter for them. They do music in the symphonies so the movies in the symphony.
Oh, yeah.
They'll play the movie and then they'll do the live accompaniment to it. And so
I've seen that before. I mean, I haven't seen that personally, but I've like heard of that.
I would love to see this. That requires a different, soundtracks require a different or orchestra or different, groupings of instruments.
Well, depending on the movie too, because like
yes, yeah. So we talked about
Howard Shore. He's like, yes, get them all in here. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's get them.
Could we have more of everything? What instruments can we invent to playing? So
John Williams, can we move? Can we get more people in here, please? Can we move over? Get more tubas in here. Let's do that.
I'm sorry. I need more room for one more French horn, but I mean I need 12. So thank you very much.
I meant one more row of French horns. That's what I meant.
That's actually yes. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you. Good clarifying question. So we just talked about how it just depends on what kind of music they're playing and the arrangements and what's needed, but they don't need a whole lot of everything because it tends to be smaller, string focused. But it's always fascinating to me to watch expert percussionists play like that.
Oh yeah,
is
for sure.
Just so much fun to watch as they flip from one to the next and how precise they have to be every single time. And the versatility in somebody that has him go from playing the marimbas to the bass to the glockenspiel to the bells to the to the marimbas and then repeat, and then new instruments the next one. It's like, yeah, those guys are working hard over there, and nobody ever talks to them talks about them, but they're doing a lot. No, it was a good one too. They played some from that were more soundtracky. So they had a lot of brass involved with that, but it was a good hour. I recommend go listen to a symphony or 400 tubas.
Yeah. I mean, one of those things is you're more likely to encounter than
yeah.
the other.
Statistically, walking down the street, you're right.
Yes.
That's a fair point. You're more likely to encounter, if you do encounter 400 tubas while walking down the street, get to safety.
I have encountered a person walking down the street with a tuba case before. So like maybe they were going to symphony practice, perhaps. Don't know.
Tuba Christmas.
But yeah, maybe that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Yes. So we are, and then tomorrow we're turning back around and we're headed back home because we're going to see our town's version of Handel's Messiah, and we have another play to go to, Frog and Toad, from the children's
best friends, Frog and Toad, like the book, like
yes.
Hey,
Frog and Toad.
All right.
It's a play with them, based on the children's novels and books, not novels, but the children's books.
But yeah,
scenes that basically they're each book is like 3 or 4 little stories, little vignettes. So that's what they're going to be doing.
Ah, sweet.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's very cool. Well, it's been a big theater week apparently, because guess what we've been doing?
Oh, what?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Theater week.
So Thursday, it was school play night, right? Which was an extremely abridged version of the Nutcracker.
Oh,
for some reason. So that was weird. Never really, I didn't know. Well, I think I knew, but like, I didn't know, but like, I knew, but I forgot kind of situation that the Nutcracker had like lyrics. Right?
Oh, yes.
And they're singing the songs. And some of the songs I was kind of like, these lyrics are kind of, it's not age well, Tchaikovsky, right? Like, I don't know.
Oh, like, wait, review board?
Yeah, it's kind of like, that's cool, but like, I don't really know if we need, I don't know about that. We're a little bit weird. They're not like bad, but like, they're also just kind of like, not great. Like, that's weird. I don't know. They gotta. So I don't know. That's a little weird. But anyway, so it's like a super abridged version of the Nutcracker, right? Like really cut down, a lot less ballet. But so they did the Nutcracker. This is pretty good, right? There's a lot of narrating. They always do like a lot of narrating parts, and then like singing bits, and there was some acting stuff. So it was pretty good, right? Overall, good time. So watched the elementary school abridged version of the Nutcracker, right? So that was Thursday. But then yesterday, right? Yesterday was Friday. Is that correct? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yesterday, because it's our anniversary, right? Blam.
Yes.
Hello. What's up? We went to Springfield Little Theater,
Ooh.
the Landers back again, because they were doing a Christmas Carol. Right? And so if they're doing a Christmas Carol, guess who's going? That's right. It's Susan. So we went to that last night. That was pretty fun, right? It was pretty good. Now, a review of the Christmas Carol at Springfield Little Theater, which is pretty non-relevant because it closes tonight. Anyway, I think or soon. They it was overall pretty good, right? Susan had a hard time because obviously the Muppet version of the Christmas Carol is so superior that watching literally anything else is difficult. Can be hard, to get over that. But the only thing that was weird was like tonally, parts of it didn't really make sense, right? Like, and I don't know if that is just the this particular show, like with the actors and stuff or whatever, but like that, it's a pretty serious affair, right? And it was like a theater version, so there were like little quips and little, asides, which is engaging and it's supposed to make everybody laugh and cut the levity, right? But
Sure.
the dude that plays Jacob Marley was like hamming it up hardcore, which kind of is weird, right? When they're like, "Oh, look, here's all this suffering and sadness," and he is being a complete ham like the whole time. It's
no,
it was really weird. Like,
perfect.
It's like tonally, like when we were on our way home, like, we're like that was the one thing that was like kind of odd, right? And I don't know if I'm missing something, because again, when you go to the Springfield Little Theater, right, the thing that happens is that you are there surrounded by theater nerds, right? These are the other people that go there. So some people that were there, like, they know more what to expect, because like this is a thing that people know about, right? Not me. I'm like, okay, I'll go, whatever. Like, I'm more of a casual theater observer, right? Not like I follow everything and know about all the stuff. I'm not like a big theater nerd person. But like, definitely in the audience last night were like theater kid people, and so like I think that they were enjoying it, right? Because it's like, look, it's like big and it's theater and it's blah blah. But like, I just think tonally it was weird. It was a weird choice to have him be like silly, and then like cut to the song and dance thing with him and all these like weird, again, David Copperfield spooky ghosts dancing around Scrooge, like threatening him with the chain and all that stuff, right? Like, like that was dark and weird, but like 5 seconds ago he was all like goofy and wacky. That doesn't, like, tonally it was odd. Right? Like, it was just like it was a weird tone to take.
Now wait a minute.
Like, oh, look how wacky I am. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm wearing all these chains because I oppress the poor. Hey, what, like,
yuck?
Yuck. Yeah, it's like kind of weird, right? Like, I know that literal Goofy played Jacob Marley, but like tonally in the whole Disney movie, it like matched, right? It didn't necessarily match the rest of the vibe.
Oh, are you saying you think you know where he took his inspiration from for
maybe,
Jacob Marley?
Right? Yeah, like it was like extra silly and weird, and so that was strange. But other than that, like overall, it was pretty good, right? Except for I did get cursed by the theater gods because I sat directly behind two of the largest individuals ever. And so, like,
oh no,
you always get that happens. Like, everybody else in the section I was in was a normal size human, but the two people directly in front of me were enormous, right? They're like taller than I am, wider than I am, right? It was like, oh my, and the guy right in front of me, like, I know the guy in front of him was big too, but he was also big, and he like either wasn't comfortable in the seat, which I would get, but like also he like literally could not sit still. He just kept moving his head sideways. So I would like lean over to see around him, and then like 2 seconds he would just like lean that way, and then lean. It was like, oh, it's like, buddy, I'm gonna staple you to this chair. Like, what are you doing?
I need you to immediately stop.
It was really, like, he was kind of annoying. It's not his fault that he's a giant man. Okay, that's not his fault, but he's very wiggly giant man, which is annoying.
Could probably cut back on the fidgety.
Yeah. So like, other than the theater gods cursing me with the seat, like, and the seat's fine. I was joking with Susan, like, we got to our seats and I was like, I looked around and I was like, this is literally the exact seats we sat in when we came to watch the Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh no.
Which was just funny. That's not, I mean, they're fine. They're good seats, but like normally they're fine. But like just last time on the Murder on the Orient Express, there was a normal sized person sitting in front of me. So there was zero issue.
And you were kind of hoping for that again this time.
But this, it's okay. So it was pretty good. It is weird to see a Christmas Carol with dancing and tap dancing, but the dancers were very good.
Tap dancing,
right?
You say?
There was a tap dancing number in there during the Ghost of Christmas Present, right? Which fits thematically because he's like much more jovial.
Yes.
Right. So there was a tap dancing number in there.
Okay.
They were doing the thing in there, so that's pretty good. And it was nice. Overall, it was pretty good. I still, even in this version, right, the Ghost of Christmas Past is my least favorite part of A Christmas Carol. I think because it's much longer than the other two ghosts. Right? There's like a way more. I feel like by the end, like the Ghost of Christmas Future Dickens was like, yeah, anyway, let's finish this up. Let's go. I gotta
let's wrap it.
I mean, by that time, Scrooge is like opened to more things, so like you don't need to go as long. But like the backstory like takes forever, and the Fezziwig stuff, and then the Emily, the lady or whatever, and then all this blah blah blah. It like takes years, and it's like okay, and throw in dance numbers and songs, it drags it out even more.
So
I start to be really annoyed by the Ghost of Christmas Past, just in any rendition. But this one also just carried that on. It's like, this is my least favorite part. Like, this is my least favorite part of the thing. Like, it's my least favorite part of the story in general. But again, it was just so much. But it was cool. The sets there are always amazing, right? That's one of my favorite things about going to the Landers Theater is the set design is always incredible, right? It's fantastic. Like, so I like that. They do a lot with like very minimal stuff, right? They had they had the street scene, yeah, and then which is like backdrops, but the I guess we'll call it the hero building was like Scrooge's house, and so it had the exterior, and it was literally a big giant box, like a huge box, and then for the exterior shot, and then they rolled it forward and opened it up like a dollhouse, and that was the interior of the building.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it like the whole thing hinged open and was like his bedroom.
Oh, cool.
And then for the other scenes, they would just like pull it shut and then pull it back, and then they would drop a curtain because some of the other things are just like black curtain and then like minimal props for the thing. Like the whole Ghost of Christmas Past, it was just like, oh look, here's a Scrooge's dad getting arrested. Here's him, doing stuff. Here's the thing. Like, so there was like minimal set design for that. So we'll call it the hero building, was this huge thing that like completely hinged open, and they did all the stuff. So every time the new ghost showed up, they would do that, like hinge that thing out. Well, except for the third one, because he just shows up randomly. But
right,
but yeah. So the set design is always my favorite part of those productions. I just think it's the coolest.
I really
I just love the set designs in any production, right? But like, I just feel like the Springfield Little Theater just has some pretty incredible design people that are there doing stuff. Because every time I see something there, it's like amazing.
Yeah. I have really grown. Sorry, I have really grown to love design in for theater that is minimalist, because it really helps you pay attention to what's going on.
Well, yeah.
And not detract from anything else. It really is always very nice to see a very clean, minimalist production that focuses on the story and sets the scene as appropriately without having to be like, way overkill, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and there's how you have to be creative with the space that you have to work with, right? Yeah. That's important. Like when we saw, was it last year? We went and saw The Play That Goes Wrong at Springfield Little Theater.
Yeah. I remember that.
And the set design for that, like that's a lot of big, complicated sets and stuff, but it's like they're designed to break and things are supposed to go bad. The set design was like, the whole thing was hysterical, but the set design made it better because it just like really played into everything that was going on. So the way that they do sets there, and all the people that work and volunteer at that place, they're amazing. So like that's kind of the opposite one, because like I remember back to 180K, when we saw Fiddler, it was a very minimal, sparse thing because you just like flip it around and blah whatever. But like the play that goes wrong had like a billion sets, it felt like, but they were all like really important and interesting and unique, and they did all kinds of crazy stuff. But when we saw Murder on the Orient Express, it was like very simple. It was like two things, right? And they just kept the way that they moved them and interchanged them around and utilized the space was like so cool that I just really like that. I really like the design part of that. So that's another reason that I like going there. It's just really fun. Even if the dancing of the Ghost of Christmas Past goes on for way too long,
Maybe that's the point, man. Can't you just get with it and be fine?
I guess. Just Spirit, stop showing me the dancing. Okay, quit.
Have fun.
I get it already. Okay, I know. Stop dancing.
I too am ready.
Yes.
Christmas present.
I'm with Scrooge on this one. Can we move it along, please?
Yeah, now you really feel where his motivations are coming from,
Maybe that was a point. I don't know. Like,
it's exactly.
Come on, let's go. Yeah, but that's what we did yesterday. We went and saw that. Oh, they had carolers there. Before. So part of the cast before the show started were like they were already in like costume, right? So they were just doing Christmas carols.
Oh, sure.
On the stage as everyone was coming in and singing. Outside, there were also carolers. Now I don't know if these were part of the theater production or if this was just spontaneous other groups of people caroling because they knew the Christmas Carol was going to be there. I am unconfirmed about that. But also, with the carolers, before we even got inside the building, there was a group of people that came in and were singing with the carolers, and they were all dressed up like Beaker from the Muppets.
Oh,
there was just like tens of Beakers, and they were singing with the Christmas carolers, but they were all just singing meep 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 meep.
Yes. Yes.
It was so hilarious. I was like, I don't know what is happening. I don't know why this is here. I have no idea, but this is really funny.
That is perfect. I mean, it's a little bit of a deep cut to know like the connection between the Christmas Carol and the Muppets Christmas Carol.
I mean, is it really at this point? Like,
but I was going to say specifically for the theater nerds.
True. Yeah.
No. That is a detail that is immediately recognized.
Or Christmas Carol enthusiasts, such as my wife,
as would be attending there, right? It's like,
yeah.
It's
so
like
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know why all these people were there, but it was very hysterical. And so,
well, that makes me happy.
It's pretty good. So it started off on a good note, right? And then got dragged down by the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was right.
Okay, good.
The only other weird part was that the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come was like, at some point, it transitioned to this like lady silently dancing in like this really big golden dress. And I was like, that's not menacing. Like, what is that? Like, what's going on here?
What?
It was bizarre, right? Like, it was like, instead of being so one of the things in the theater version, right, is that the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future are all people that Scrooge encounters on his walk at the beginning when he's going around. He's like in this introduction thing. Like, there's a lamplighter lady that falls down, and she's like, help me up. He's like, sucks to suck, loser, get out of here, right? And that lady ends up being the Ghost of Christmas Past. There's a bell ringer guy like wearing a marquee board for like a theater production thing, right? The irony, right? Theater people can't help doing that.
No, it's
he ends up being the ghost of. Yeah, he ends up being the ghost of Christmas Present, and there's like a blind beggar woman, right? She's like alms for the poor, and he's like, no, go away. And so that lady ends up being the ghost of Christmas yet to come. But at some point, there's like this big song thing, right? Again, like mildly spooky, but like she like takes off the hag robe and she's wearing this like golden dress thing, and she's like dancing. She's not like singing. She's not singing because the ghost of Christmas future doesn't talk, but she's like dancing around in the golden dress thing. And Susan and I were both kind of like, what? What is happening?
Now, wait a minute. I don't think
dancing over the coffin that on Scrooge's grave, but she's like twirling. You're like, wait, hold on. This is weird. And the juxtaposition of this graveyard scene with this golden lady is odd. I don't know about menacing or anything like that. Like it's very it was, but that part was a little bit weird, right? But like again, it was fine. Overall, it was a pretty good show.
Sure. Well, good. I'm glad.
Well, yeah, that was our big. So look at that. Look at that. A weekend at the theater. Apparently, who knew? It's unplanned, listeners. Look at that.
I know. These things just happen.
So there you go. That's very.
Yeah, that was. I mean, literally all we've done is recover from the insaneness of Thanksgiving, have a few days, and then we've just been driving hither and thither. And what did Noah say? We were at the park soaking up some sunshine, walking around, and he's walking and he's tired and exhausted. And he just goes, Dad, I think my body is shutting down.
No. It's like, no, buddy, you just need a snack. You'll be all right.
I think you're fine. Here, just wait.
Yeah. You just need a snack, little guy. It's okay.
Dad.
We all feel like that sometimes. And then we eat some chicken and we're like, all right, let's go. Ready to go.
I was thinking too. I was like, me too, bud. No, we need to keep going.
Yeah. We just need some lunch. Okay. It'll be fine.
Oh, poor guy. Anyway, it's just, Dad, my body's shutting down. Okay. We're moving on.
Moving on to lunch, and you'll be okay. You'll rebound. I believe in you.
Yes. So hopefully we'll get some good recovery this week. I'm ready for it, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hope so. That's kind of what we did today. We were like, we could do these things, or hear me out.
Yeah.
Susan just sat on the couch and worked. She was just working on stuff today for her parents' teachers' December story time thing. So she just kind of worked today and just kind of, she's like, she was gonna go up to school, and she was like, nope, I'm gonna bring my stuff home so I don't have to leave the house on Saturday. I think this is a much better plan. I think this is much better. I think that's the way to go. So that's what we did today. And so, yeah, finishing decorating. Right. That's the other thing that's happening currently.
Oh, so, yeah. No, we are not decorating anymore. We're done. Once we got the live tree, I was like, I can do no more. I need to sit down now. Very tired.
Well, that's fair. That's, but we put out we didn't put the tree up yet. We had all the sheep. When I say we, I mean her mostly. She put the other decorations up, just like the little things, like got the little stuff out, right? And the tree is up, but it's not adorned currently. So that's the last step, is finish trimming the tree. That's the last bit we have to do, and then we'll be good to go. But yeah, just doing that stuff, and then hopefully tomorrow I'm not doing too much either. So trying to do the last sprint before Christmas break at school. That's the hard part. Like I have 2 weeks. I'm not entirely sure how many of those days will be taken away to do ancillary thing.
Random
right? So
stuff.
like, yeah, because like my boss lives in this world where like, oh, we don't have anything to do before Christmas break. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? I have so much stuff to do.
Yeah, just coast. Just coast.
Yeah. Again, it's very difficult because like since we're technically in the elementary part, right? Like we're very unique in that we're the only, well, not the only grade anymore, but like we're the only section that like fifth grade does it too this year, where we switch classes. And so, they're like, oh, well, just move your time around. I'm like, I cannot do that. Like, why don't you understand that I can? I have these like 50-minute time blocks and that's all I got. And I can't just do it later. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I know it all has to get done in this time, right?
Yeah,
it's not later.
I can appreciate that maybe the second grade is like, okay, bro, we need other things to do. Okay, like, can we do something different? I don't want that. I need to like focus here. I have to. So I really need you to not do that to me.
Right.
So other than that, so that's what the problem I don't know. Is like I have all this stuff to do. Do I get to have time to do it? Like, what does that look like? Do I actually get time to do things? So that's the other problem that I'm having here. So we'll see how that goes in these next 2 weeks and then go from there, I guess. So, yes, I do have a potential Christmas themed challenge for you.
Okay.
If I could interest you in a holiday spirited challenge.
Yes, I am all ears. I'm taking notes. I'm ready to go.
All right. Now, because we can decide when we want to do this. We don't have to do it this next week if you don't want to, but like since it's Saturday, but it's not super involved. It's not super involved. It's a light one.
Probably best to do it earlier in the Christmas season than later, given my schedule.
That's fair. So this isn't like a super involved one, right? So, but this is something I've been thinking about.
Travel to the North Pole.
Yeah, no, for several months. Okay, I've been thinking about this for several months. It was in the summer when we were in the park, like running and stuff, right, and walking around and running in the park. We were talking about this one day. We were talking about Christmas songs, right? Last year we did a least favorite Christmas song list. We were talking about it came up a conversation that the 12 Days of Christmas is a weird song, right? These are weird gifts to give people, right? It's also a little bit weird to like give somebody, maids of milking. That's weird. I think that's slavery. I think that's illegal, right? Why are there so many birds in this song, right? Why are the only gifts literally people and birds and then jewelry? Like that's it, right? So do you have these same thoughts? Do you like the 12 Days of Christmas as a song?
I think as a traditional song to sing, it is good. I like, oh, it's Christmas. Here's a song we sing at Christmas. That is what it is. But beyond that, no, it's not like, this is what I need in my life.
So I also know that there are other renditions of this song, right? And other like parody versions of said song. So I was wondering if we need to do some sort of challenge around finding a better alternate version of the 12 Days of Christmas.
Yes.
Right. Okay. There you go. Right. Okay. That's what
I think we need to just make this our top 5 rankings.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or do you want to do we need to come up with our own?
Well, I didn't really know. I thought that might be a little too much. Right. Maybe we can save that for next year.
Okay.
Right. But we could do that, but I don't know. We could either do top 5 or we could write our own 12 Days of Christmas. But
We'll do the best. We'll find the top 5. We'll rank them.
Yeah,
and
alternate
find the best.
versions. Okay,
yes,
that sounds good. We can save writing our own for a future date. We'll pencil that in. Put that on the list of things to do.
Yes,
okay.
We'll
put that.
Yeah, that's not okay. It's going.
Ultimate.
It's 2 pages now.
Oh yeah. I know. We need to. Yeah, we get on that. We can make in future dates. So listeners, be on the lookout in future for the ultimate version, the ultimate Oh Brother version of 12 Days of Christmas. Right. At some point. Right.
A 12 Days of Christmas alternative song. Okay, but for this one, we're going to be finding. We're going to be listening to and finding.
Yeah.
Our top 5 renditions of the song.
Surely there are more than 5, right? I didn't research this too much.
Yeah, as soon as I said 5, I was like, because this is not versions. It's not even it's
like rewrites,
right, and kind of parodies, I guess.
Yeah.
Parodies,
yeah, man. That's what we need to think about here. So like,
okay, I may have bitten off more we could chew with this. It's like whenever
that's right. Well, if we need to abridge to like
the top
3 or
the top 3,
yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Right. I'm pretty sure we can find 5 of these, but like, oh yeah, here's 12 unique versions of the 12 Days of Christmas just on this list right here. So
okay,
I think we might be able to do that.
I can do that.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Yes, we will do this. Okay.
All right. We'll do some research on this. We'll do that later. But that's what I just wanted to think about this because I think as a song, like conceptually as a song, this is a weird Christmas song, right? And we can talk about that a little bit later, like go into more detail on that when we do this. But like, I just think it's weird. And it was Susan's grandmother's least favorite Christmas song. She did not like it at all.
Okay. So
I think that's part of
for this.
Yeah, it's kind of how this conversation came about, right? So we were talking about that it was Gran's least favorite song ever. So we were
nice. Okay. So we need to okay.
Yeah, so we can do some investigating here. So that can be our challenge. Alternate versions of the 12 Days of Christmas. So there we go. If we can't find 5, we'll do 3. But I think we might be able to find 5.
I think we'll be able to find.
Now, will they all be better? Yeah, but we can find.
Doesn't matter. I think we can agree that we will find something better than the original.
Yeah, probably. So,
and that's what we're going for.
That's what we're going. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, we will do that. That's
all right.
We'll do that for next week. I think that's for our next week challenge. I think so.
Okay.
I think we should just do that. And that way when things go haywire, if we push it a week, we can still get this done before the end of the year. And it's not like our 12 days of Christmas in January.
Yes, exactly. I feel that's yes.
Although depending on who you ask, they will say, well, the 12 days of Christmas is leading after Christmas, not before.
That is true.
It's a whole thing. And
that's true. So yeah,
but we'll get it done for Christmas because it's a Christmas song, not a January song, people.
Right. Well, that's good, but yeah, depends on where you are. I know the Italians. There's a part of the Christmas goes into January, right? So it's a whole thing. So like Epiphany is part of Christmas.
Yeah.
Someplace. So
yeah. Well, so then maybe if we do swing and a miss on this, we'll just roll it into
if we muck up real bad.
We'll just make it. Or we'll just say no. We meant to do this as part of the Italian tradition.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, as we try to ingratiate ourselves into their society and culture for when we buy a villa.
Yes.
Like it's a long plan, people. It doesn't, these things don't just happen. It takes intentional work. That's what we're doing here. Okay. Well, I will have a haiku to wrap us out here.
All right.
I believe here. So here is my haiku. Tiny ball, loud clacks. Grown-ups squabble on the court. Pickleball perplexed.
Ah!
There you go.
Yes. Beautiful.
There you go. So, why is it so much?
I like it. That's good.
Anyway, there we go. Okay. Well, I will start listening to. I've got a long drive home tomorrow, so I know what I'm going to be doing. Listen to some songs, get my playlist,
some investigating.
Yeah, so this is for my work.
Yeah. This is what I'm interested to see. Are these alternate versions, or are these just like different random people singing the 12 Days of Christmas? That's going to be the hard thing to wade through here. It's like, what's the difference between the version and the parody?
I'm also a little worried about just how far the deep end is on this.
Oh, I think it's pretty. We're going to try that.
That's where, like, I'm good. Yeah. I'm like, oh, the 12th. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna steer clear, so we'll see. We'll try not to go on to 4chan.
Yeah, try not to go. No. We're gonna stay away from 4chan. No.
It's just stay
That's
on this
scary
side.
place. We don't go there.
I'll have all my firewalls up, and I'll be double encrypted. When I'm doing
good. Yeah,
search.
Put your 2-factor authentication on
everything.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm looking for versions of the song.
Yeah, safely.
Okay, well, Godspeed and good luck, and we'll try this again next week.
All right.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.